Hi, it's Crafty Cupid. Today I'm going to show you a few sewing techniques. This is something I've been working on, and I'm going to show you how to sew some of the beads in it. I've got my little beading board, which is really handy, keeping it all together. The fabric I use for this has been ironed on with lining, and from another project I've just cut some scraps for you to see. Okay, so get started with your needle and your thread. Make sure there's a knot in the end. I'm just using a normal cotton thread, but wax linen thread is always good, it's really strong. Okay, so I'm going to start off by just taking some sequins and some tiny little beads. Okay, so you go down the bottom of the fabric and then up, pull up. Take a sequin, and I'm leaving mine open, thread it through the whole of the sequin, and then also on that same piece of thread, thread a bead, little tiny bead. It's hard to show my little tiny bead. Okay, so now you have the bead and the sequin together. It's a bit loose, so what you need to do is you need to go through the whole of the sequin and down through the bottom. I'll do it again, closer to the camera this time. So get under the fabric and up, take a sequin, put it down the thread, thread a tiny bead onto the thread, through the very first sequin hole, and done. The great thing about this is that you can't see the thread also. The bead kind of covers it, which I really like. So obviously you can just do random ones, or you can make a pattern, clump them all together. Underneath the material again, and you pull up so the knot is firmly underneath. You take a sequin and you put your needle through the sequin, and then you just hold the sequin in place and you put your needle just slightly down from the sequin. You'll see in just a moment. Okay, so there's a line, and then just by that line you want to come up again, just by the bottom of the sequin. Come up and thread another sequin onto your thread. And hold it in place by that sequin. Woo! Hold it in place by that sequin and put another needle thread in there, and there you have two lined up together. I do kind of make it up as I go along, because that's the fun part of it. This is another great stitch where you don't see the thread as much, so it's kind of invisible. there you go. There's the formations of a line. So I've threaded my needle in and I put a sequin on, as I've done with the other ones. The thread is still here and it's loose, so I'm just going to thread some small pink beads, the little tiny ones. Okay, so I've put about 4 on there, and I'm just going to hold it down with my finger and just put my needle just next to the bead at the end. So then I made a little line, and then I'm going to come up again from the bottom, just a little bit away from where I've just been. And I'm going to thread another sequin through the middle, going up, place it just near to that last bead, and then I'm going to thread some more beads on there. Okay, then I do the same thing, just hold it down with my thumb and then put my needle just by it. Oh, try and keep it straight still. And there's another line. And obviously you just continue and continue and continue. So there are all 3 of what you can do.